Hello, everyone. Today, the study in Yeshiva is sponsored by the Fruchtgart family in memory of Yitzchak Isaac Ben Dov. May Hashem have an aliyah. And so we'll learn about bicycles and scooters. So I looked up a few statistics. I did remember that in Holland it's very, very common. So apparently 58% of all the people who live in the Netherlands, there's about 17.5 million people there. 58% of them use their bike only, and they don't even, some of them don't even have a car. And what's funny is that there's even more than 1 point something per capita. So that means that somebody has more than one bike um, for, I guess, different uses. And so they go to work with it and etc. There's a movie that I believe is fiction, but it's a Holocaust movie called The Aryan Couple, where this very young couple, they look like they're Aryan, but really they're Jewish, and they're collecting information about the deportations. And so they're going with their bicycle, and she always has a bunch of apples in a basket in front of her above the binoculars. That way, even if she's stopped, they see that it's apples, and they let her go. But it's very, very common in Holland. The second place in the world is France, and they even have the Tour de France every year. And the third is Denmark. So a lot of people use bicycles, and we're not talking about the motorized ones. So the question is, are you allowed to use them on Shabbat? Obviously, if it's a weekday activity, like in Holland, where everybody uses their bicycle for their actual, going to work and coming back from work, then that would be very problematic. But if somebody is just riding a bicycle for fun or a scooter, then that's where the question comes to be. So Rav Melamed brings the more stringent opinion about this. He says one may not ride a regular two-wheeler bicycle as an adult because this is a weekday activity. Even if a bicycle has training wheels, so that would be a child, one may not ride it. However, small children may ride tricycles because tricycles are only used by small children, and there's a significant difference between tricycles and bicycles. Therefore, riding them is not considered a weekday activity. And even though here in Fredericton we have a lot of kids that ride their bicycle every morning to school, I've never seen a toddler or pre-K child on a tricycle going to school. So it's definitely different from the weekday activity of bicycles. So there's actually many questions about why it is forbidden. We talked about that you might have to fix the hole in the wheel, or you might have to fix the chain. And so again, this is a more stringent opinion, but there are communities that allow children to ride a bicycle as long as they're not bar mitzvah. So some allow children to ride scooters and wear skates on Shabbat and rollerblades. According to them, just as children may run on Shabbat, they may use scooters and skates. Opposing them are those who feel that while children may run on Shabbat, that permission is limited to unassisted movement. In contrast, using equipment that makes one move faster and more effectively is considered a weekday activity. So again, if it's just for fun and you're going around in circles or in a pretty closed area, not risking anybody's life, then again, it depends on the community, it depends on situation, but we're a lot more lenient with scooters. First of all, their wheels are hard, plastic or rubber. It's not likely at all that it will ever break or have a hole in it, and also there is no chain because you're not pedaling it. So that's why it would be allowed. Skates and rollerblades, very much the same. Even though those who are lenient here have an opinion on which to rely b'diavad, it is proper to be stringent, since the stringent opinion seems more compelling, just as the widespread practice is to refrain from riding bicycles because this is a weekday activity that clashes with the spirit of Shabbat. It is similarly inappropriate to use scooters or skates on Shabbat. So if you notice here, he didn't say that everybody says that you're not allowed to ride a bicycle on Shabbat. He's just saying that the more compelling opinion of the majority of poskim is that you're not allowed to ride a bicycle on Shabbat. But again, I believe that there's communities where it's either an enclosed community where you can't you won't have a car on the road on Shabbat for any reason except for emergency. Um, that there are communities where the younger kids ride their bicycles to shul. I don't know what our community's minhag is because kids usually come with their parents and most of the time they ride in their car. But because I don't see it, it's not called Chilul Shabbat for Hesia. And so again, that's the idea. And last, additionally, by our limiting small children to simpler games, older children will learn to dedicate Shabbat to Torah and to rest. And so it's basically if everybody wants to go out on a ride or bicycle just for fun, it's not appropriate for the more for the older children, chinuch or bar mitzvah. And so um, again, it depends on the community. I believe that there are communities, Orthodox communities, that the younger children, ride to shul on their scooters or bicycles. And so, Bezat Hashem, we'll have you have to ask basically your rabbi, and it depends on the community. And I looked at Rav Sherlow's opinion, and I looked at Rav Ovadia Yosef, and then somebody that said that Rav Ovadia Yosef said the exact opposite. And Shmirat Shabbat Gilchata, which is Rav Neuvert, he's usually machmir, but he said that communities that allow regular bicycles also allow scooters and rollerblades. And so we will stop here and open up for questions.